very wet today, so I'm going to teach you how to find traction on slippery takeoffs. Here I have a rock on top of a bank without much run, and it's very muddy, so I need to use every mud technique possible on this one. There's already a bit of a rut dug in, but it's still very slippery. So the first thing I'm going to do is shift into third gear. This isn't a very big rock, but in the mud you always want to ride at least a gear high. Instead of just letting the clutch out for a wheelie and getting forward like if it were dry, I'm going to start with my feet a little bit further back on the foot pegs, on the balls of my feet. Start back over the rear end of the bike, brakes on, balanced, clutch in. Then I'm going to start revving it up before dropping my knees down to get down into the bike and stopping on the foot pegs, pulling on the handlebars to try to get the rear tire to dig, and let the clutch out while staying on the gas. You really want to rev it out like this is a huge wall to try to get as much wheel speed as possible and try to dig down to something a little more solid. You have to be a little more patient in the mud. Even though you're wide open and you dump the clutch, the bike's not just going to take off right away. The tire's going to spin for a second before it digs in and finds some traction, so sometimes you just have to wait for it to dig in and hold on. Once you feel the bike start to hook up, you can control the power with the clutch, but keep the throttle on in case you need more. As soon as you know you're going to make it on top, let off the throttle, pull the clutch in and be ready to slip it. Get your weight back over the rear tire for traction, and you should land on top, ready to go for the next obstacle. You don't want to get forward too much. If you get over the front of the bars before you're into the rock, expecting that front tire to come up, you're just going to spin and drill the front tire right into it. So what you have to do is get back on the bike, start revving it up. Instead of going straight forward, come down into the bike and dump the clutch and wait for that traction, and it should drive right into the rock.